I want the TE leads to really listen to me on this. So she even says that her main problem, I want to get back to this because this is really important. Says the main problem was the majority of girls has been them people pleasing me. It has usually led to resentments on their end and a lack of trust on mine. When you understand the cognitive functions, you understand what it is that you're doing, that you're projecting onto other people, because this is what is happening. Your unconscious functions for the TE leads, it's going to be FE, is going to be in their unconscious. And what we do with our unconscious functions, those are repressed in us, and they're repressed and they're seen as bad. They're seen as wrong. They're seen as useless. We wave them off. And when we see them in other people, Carl Jung talked about this and said that we have disgust in those cognitive functions that we repress. That's like our shadow that Carl Jung talked about. And because we see them as kind of wrong and see them with this view of disgust, that whenever we see them in other people, we also project that disgust onto them. And the problem with it, I see a lot of people, a lot of TE leads make, is that they see the FE and they go, oh, look at you doing this awful thing, like pretending to be nice and people pleasing. And like, I don't want to hear it. And they see it as manipulative, right? They see it as this mistrust. That's very important that she sees this. She's going, I don't trust that. I don't like it. There's something wrong with people who do that. And that is not every time, but the majority is that disgust in our shadow of ourselves, that we have pushed that down. And whenever people do it, we see it as wrong. And she's saying, I don't like it. But I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that probably 80% of that time that she's seeing it is manipulative, or I don't trust it. I don't want to have you as a friend because I don't like it when you do that. That probably 80% of the time, people were trying to be genuinely nice. Everybody can be manipulative in their own way. FE specifically is not manipulative. I think I'm going to do a whole video on that. But FE is not specifically manipulative. Those people with high FE, they are doing that because they feel like that's the right way to be. They are genuine. And yes, you see that as people pleasing. They're like, I'm being nice. You know what? You should be nice. I think everybody should be nice. I'm not doing this to get anything out of you. I'm doing that because I believe that's what's right. Just like the people who are high logic are like, I'm just telling you like it is. I'm not trying to be rude or mean. I'm just telling you and being blunt because that's how everybody should be. Why can't everybody be like that? And so you have to understand that the people with high feeling are looking at you and going, wow, that was so rude. That was so wrong, because they're projecting their disgust of their own TE, their own low logic onto you and going, wow, that's wrong. How could you do that? And when you understand that and you stop yourself and you look at when you're having that feeling with somebody else, is to stop for a moment and stop judging. Stop judging what you're seeing and just look at it. You're like, are they doing anything terrible, anything wrong, saying nice things to you or to other people? And you're judging it, but you're really judging yourself. It's a thing about your shadow that you keep projecting onto people and judging it and going, wow, that is wrong. But I really wanted to point that out because it's so clear when you understand this stuff. You see it in these other and all the different types, and you're like, there it is. Exactly like Carl Jung said.